Welcome back to Cellar Rat TV with your host, the Cellar Rat, Addison Rex. We're joined again by our friend Ryan Rugg, and we're going to try out round 2 of the new releases. If you didn't catch us last week, we tried 4 of the 11 new releases that just came out. Actually, this rosé here, yet to be released, coming out just in time for summer in next couple months. Today we've got some great wines for us, though. I hope that you guys will get a join along sometime in the future. We've got our Checkerbloom Rose, our 2006 Sangiovese, and our 2006 Old Vine Zin. So we got a really nice, light, breezy summer wine and a heavy hitter out. So start out with the rose.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Pull it out.
It is a beautiful day in Sonoma Valley today. Perfect day for this rosé.
Oh, I think we actually got into the 70s today for once. It's actually nice and sunny out, no rain, no cloud.
It feels like the first day of spring. I think we're sitting here up at Camp Deerfield, up by my little tent, and I think I need to mow the hedges. It's pretty long. Actually, this is really exciting for us because this is this is the first wine that I've had that's ready for release that Ryan and I helped produce. We worked the 2009 harvest together, and this is a product of our labor. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is also Deerfield's first rosé ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's
such bright fruit expression in this wine. We actually it's made in the style of Saignée, and Saignée is actually a technique used to make a rosé style wine through bleeding. What we do is we bleed out juice, replace some with parts of water. It actually brings the sugar down in our normal batch of wine, and everything we bled out we used for the rosé. So this is primarily Primitivo and Zinfandel, not to be mistaken as a white Zinfandel, not at all. This is a dry style rosé. It's a perfect complement to warm weather wine drinking fans. When it gets hot outside and you're normally a red wine drinker, and it's just too hot for that Cabernet. It's too hot for that Merlot or even the Zinfandel.
Yep.
Sometimes you just like to dial it back. Yeah, you want the dryness, you want the fruit expression, but something a little lighter, something that's warm weather friendly. And rosé is always my go-to when it gets hot outside. It's you can find some really cool, well put together rosés out there.
Yeah, that's really well said. I mean, I'm sitting here in like partial sun, but I got the sun on me, and this is like the perfect drink for right now. It's cold, and it doesn't obviously taste like a white wine. It tastes like a cool drinking red wine.
Oh, definitely. It's got the drying effect. And since it is so light, the acidity is up on this. So actually, rosés are really, really good for pairing with foods. Obviously, you don't want to go with a real heavy meat with this type of wine, but for lack of better words, patio pounders, jacuzzi juice, whatever you want to call it. This is the fun, the fun wine, for sure.
Also supporting our Checkerbloom Society, which next week we're going to talk about the Checkerbloom Society on the show, but a large portion of the land here at Deerfield Ranch is actually environmentally protected wetland. This whole valley used to be covered by wetland, and now this property is pretty much the last remnants of it. And a unique species of flower grows here, only here in Knights Valley. Nowhere else has the flower been found to grow anywhere else in the world. So this is supporting that organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, actually, this is the shiner coming off of the bottling line. Not that's why I got the label for you right here.
So it's super fresh.
It's super fresh, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is the shiner. You know, you don't necessarily put a label on every single bottle you make for a couple reasons. You want to have some that you can label separately. Maybe you run out of labels.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know, but it's kind of tradition working on the bottling line that every member of the crew gets a bottle from whatever they just bottled. It's kind of seems like it's tradition. Some
Definitely.
Some winemakers aren't quite aware of that tradition, and we wish that they were.
Definitely.
So you got to take home the shiner. This is out of my private collection right here.
Yeah. So.
Oh God, I hate to waste it. But
You know, we only produced 90 cases of this, so it's a very, very low production. And like Addison said, it is a Deerfield first to do a rosé. You know, I've been barking in Robert's ear quite a bit lately about you know, our Texas, you know, drinking habits, wine drinking habits, and you know, during the summertime when it gets so hot, you find more people drinking rosé over there. And you know, I've found out here in California that rosé is still kind of that touchy subject. You know, it's been played down by the white Zinfandel crowd, and I do want to remind you folks that there's a complete difference. There's a complete difference, and you know, some of the best wines in the world are rosés from you know, the south of France, and you know, you can find rosés in all kinds of different styles from all around the world. So this is, I think Robert and Cecilia really hit the nail on the head with this wine. It's got a lot of fruit in it and great acidity, and it's a perfect substitute for red wine during the summer.
Well, you know, and like Ryan said, this was made using the bleeding technique. White Zinfandel is made from not fermenting the Zinfandel juice with the skins. So totally different approach and a very different wine because of that. Next up, we got our 2006 Sangiovese. If you're a Deerfield fan already, you know you're always
about it.
You know about it. You're always excited
for
the
old Sangiovese.
Sangiovese. We really, you know, Robert's an Italian family coming from the south of Italy, and so Sangiovese is just a hallmark varietal for us. So it's kind of in his blood that he gets this right. Not just that, but I mean the fruit is coming from some really stellar vineyards, Alpacella, which is actually kind of our neighbor, just up the road.
Right down the road. Dan Sanchez, the owner and proprietor of that land, he owns 70 acres, and only 5 acres are planted under vine, and it's all Sangiovese. Been told that it was a Sangiovese Grosso clone, but you know, it's whatever Dan says. Yeah, I tell you what, year in and year out, Dan Sangiovese is king. It does so well around here. Sangiovese
he's a specialist.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of it. One of the first wines I ever had from Deerfield was the 03 Sangiovese, and instantly fell in love with it. Mm-hmm. You know, Robert even suggested in the summertime to put a touch, just a little chill on it.
Yeah.
Put it in the fridge maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and it's perfect during the summertime.
This kind of has that.
It's
oh man, it is drinking so well right now.
9% Cabernet, 8% Dolcetto. We get the Cabernet from Lottie's vineyard, which we source quite a bit of fruit from. That's also a very small, 17-acre vineyard.
And one of our favorites, Lottie's vineyard.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Very talented vineyard. Now, I mean, I'm personally kind of Sangiovese is like my passion. It's like my favorite varietal, and it's worth mentioning how Deerfield keeps their wine in the barrel for much longer. This is 06. It's just now being released, so this wine is being released at optimal drinking time, right? I mean, it's still got many years ahead of it, but we waited until it's drinking beautifully right now. God, I guess we're going to take a second here on Cellar Rat TV just to enjoy this wine.
That's right. I love that. This is one of my favorite wines.